There was a lot of commotion last night. Our dogs were going nuts. Looked at the window and couldn't find anything, but this morning it appears we're 2 geese short. So we're just going to have a count up. Right, so we got one bird there at the front. I think he's been marked on his backside. And when Mr. Fox got in last night. I'll have to frost proof that later on too. Well, normally, if the fox get in, he'd take the duck. Foxes like ducks. No sort of feathers. Oh, shut up, Gunther. Can't get a word in edgeways of that damn thing. Irv. Is that a fox running down through there? Something just ran on down through that fence line there. It was either a hare, which I very much doubt, or bally fox. So on my 22-250, my Leopold sights, best range to set them at is 200 metres. But obviously to do that I need to be accurate, so I'll use this fella to put my sight poles out. And my normal shooting spot is slightly elevated, so obviously wherever I'm shooting downhill. And I usually set the table up about here. Come back to you. So we're looking for 200 metres. We're shooting fractured downhill as well, so that'll flatten my trajectory a little bit. There you go. There we go. 200 metres. You can stay there. Right, from here, that looks a reasonable distance. From right there. Most of my shots probably only be 100, 150, but like I said, the Leopold likes to be set at 200. So, right, we've got to put some sights up. I got a pallet as a target board. As you find, it worked quite well. Just got to put it up now, they cut the posts. Get a bunch of posting. There's not much point in using my best posts because they're probably going to get mangled anyway. But post was in, I've let the pallet up against it. Grab another post. Try not to snap this one on. This face about right. So you're going to go in there. Hang on, I need both hands on it. Posts are a bit delicate. The cattle right here, they would probably last 2 minutes. Okay, so obviously I'm filming this on my phone. I'm not on the GoPro because I couldn't be asked to go and fetch it. But GoPro does give you both hands. Anyway, so that's going to go like that. Now the only problem with that, although it sounds daft, from up there, if there was somebody behind that board, I'd never know it. So just to err on the side of caution, I'm going to lift him up 10-12 inches. If there was something or some word or something behind it, I'd see their feet. So I'm going to lift that. I have to turn the phone off to do that, but I'll show you what I mean in a second. Right, so that's the target setup. Like I said, he's off the floor. I can't demonstrate, but literally if someone stood behind it or there's something there behind this target board, I'll see it from up there. I've used a reasonably flat pallet with no gaps in it because the chances of ricochet off this, if I hit anywhere dead centre, the bullet should just disintegrate. So what I'm trying to avoid is anything going off an edge or the top. So I expect my first 2 rounds I'll probably do from just 100 meters, and I'll make sure that I'm near dead center. If I can do it 100 meters, then 200 shouldn't be a problem. So anyway, that's the board setup. I'm not going to shoot today because it's Sunday. Not that I'm precious or anything about it, but it's also Visit the Parents Day. I just wanted to get this set up and show you how I literally set up my target. So this is 200 meters according to my wheel from the rise in my garden, which is if I come out and have to do a bit of foxing at night, that's tend to where I go. All this ground is covered at 243, so I'm well within on 22-250. I'm not going to relish shooting the fox, and I'm not going to show it you, but this is basically how I make sure I do the job well. If I shoot something, if I can't hit that glove at 200 meters in the day, I can't hit that hand at night. So I just like to be, some of you won't say it's humane at all, but then talk to my geese about that. Right then, so that's the 100 meter target board set up. I'm not quite so concerned about this fella because no one's going to hide behind that, and I'll check it first anyway. So I'm only going to put paper targets on here just to make sure that literally, I mean, see where I've shot before on here, there's a few holes in it. It's good enough to shoot more holes in now. Tomorrow, maybe. That's the range set up then, ready for tomorrow or Tuesday. See what the weather does. I'm not doing it in the rain. I just want to make sure that my sight is still set and still accurate. I can do the job I have to do humanely. So I suppose that'll do for now. I'll come back to you later on and I'll introduce you to what I'm going to use. I had intended to do a couple of videos with the rifles and that I use for a bit of pest control. I had intended to start with the smallest and work my way up. Mr. Fox has decided to go the other way around, so I need to start at 22-250, so that's the one you're going to see first. Those of you who don't like stuff with shooting and stuff like that, do you know what, I fully understand, it's not for everybody, but it's a tool, it's a job for me. I've got to protect them. It'll be a few months yet, but we will have lambs in a bit. We have had lambs taken by foxes before, and I just need to be prepared for it. So anyway, we'll cut back to the kitchen in a minute and I'll show you the rifle. Right then, I promised some of you that I'd introduce some of the rifles I keep. I've been shooting rifles since I was about 12 years old. Started off with my dad's Mark II Air Sporter, BSA Air Sporter, which I've still got, and I will introduce you to that sometime or other. Even though when I was younger I varnished the stock and it looks awful. I'm thinking of maybe refurbing that rifle, take it apart and redo it. But yeah, today we're going to concentrate on the 2250. This is a Remington 700 with the Leopold sight, and for night shooting this is something I've just added to the rifle, is a light. Usually when I go out and have to do foxes at night, and I don't do many, I just take my great big searchlight, torch with me, sit it on the table. I can usually squeak Mr. Fox out within 100 metres, which means it's a really easy job for me to do it, you know, sensibly. So the bolt is actually in the rifle now, and a couple of rounds I've put in the cheek pouch. That's just there so you can see what it does. The bolt, ammunition and weapon are stored in 3 separate compartments. So nothing is kept together. Everything, I take security of the guns quite seriously. So even my air rifles live in the gun safe, apart from the Wildcat, which is sub 12 foot-pound and doesn't have to be locked away. It is still hidden though. So this night light is, well, it's quite a serious piece of kit. So I don't know if you can see that up there. That's bright. I took it out the other day and just shone it around, and I could see 3 or 4 foxes down the field when they weren't bothering me. Picked them out, no problem at all. I think I'm going to have an issue with it on there, that, so I'm probably going to have to turn this sideways, I think. One way or the other, probably the other way, I think. Like that. So until I try it at night, I'm not going to know for sure quite where I'm lined up to. So I've put up the sights today, which you've already seen on part of the video. I'm not going to shoot rifle today, it's Sunday. Not that it's illegal or anything, but you know, neighbours probably only are allowed to bang it this time of day. And this thing, even with the moderator on, does make quite a crack. So tomorrow or Tuesday, weather permitting, I'll set up some sights. I'm looking at 200 metres. I want to put a group inside sort of tennis ball size area consistently, which is something that's getting a bit harder for me now. I'm older, so I'm past 50 now, and I'm a bit fatter than I was when I was younger, and the old pump, you don't really notice it until you're looking for the sight and trying to keep that crosshair on something tiny. The old pump, if I've walked more than sort of 50 metres, I can feel it in the sight. I can feel the whole thing just give a little shake. So you'll notice that when I'm checking my groups tomorrow, I should probably be going up down the field 200 metres, I know, on the quad bike. And that is not me being idle, well it is, but also it's to keep my heart rate down to a minimum, because if I walk down, walk back up, I have to sit for 10 minutes and let the heart calm down. So, you know, I just think I need to lose a bit of weight, a bit less pies, Mrs. P. So tomorrow, or Tuesday, like I said, we'll fire a few rounds down the range. I want to check my zero is spot on, and so that when I have to use this thing in anger, which it will be used in anger because Mr. Fox has asked for it, I'm afraid, I want to be certain that I am spot on and he knows nothing about it. So I don't take risky shots. I'm not interested in great long 300 metre shots of a rifle. I've got friends that will happily tell me about foxes and they'll take over 300 metres at night. But I don't want to do that. I'd rather squeak them up within 50 metres and, you know, be certain. So there's more skill in that, I think, than a stupid long shot at night where you can't see really what's beyond doing so. So there you go. That is my 2250. I've already said that 5 times now. I'll try and keep this interesting. I'll try and keep it sensible. And you can join me tomorrow whenever it is I upload the next video, and just see if I can still shoot the thing. I hope. Right. There you go. See you soon.